Hello everyone, welcome to this launch webinar for DFMPro for CATIA V5. My name is Rahul and with me I have my colleague Yogesh. We are part of the DFMPro product management team. Thank you for taking time out from your busy schedules to learn more about DFMPro for CATIA V5. Whether you work in design, quality, manufacturing or supply chain and use CATIA V5 as a design platform in your organization, I am sure that you will find that DFMPro will help you and your organization either directly or indirectly. If you are already working with Creo Parametric, NX or SolidWorks, you may be familiar with DFMPro. If you are, you will find that the user experience remains similar across CAD platforms, except for a certain CAD specific user interactions. If you are hearing about DFMPro for the first time, then this webinar will let you know what we have to offer. So here we are. We are officially announcing availability of DFMPro for CATIA V5. As you can see in the image, DFMPro is tightly integrated with CATIA V5. A design engineer working with CATIA V5 can analyze an in-process design and get immediate feedback related to any design recommendations which are not aligned with the predefined organizational best practices. The required change is detailed in the DFMPro window and the relevant region is highlighted in the CATIA graphics area. This allows the design engineer to take immediate corrective action or add relevant comments for the specific instance. Such comments can then be reviewed by the reviewer, quality engineer, or manufacturing engineer, either within the CATIA environment or while reviewing the reports. Before we deep dive further into the what of DFMPro, let us spend some time to understand why. Organizations compete in the marketplace on various parameters. Manufacturing industries churn out new and innovative products trying to stay ahead in the market. You may have already seen the various charts and statistics shown on the screen. New product launches fail due to various reasons. The top ones being delayed launches, non-competitive pricing, and poor product quality. Being late to market can cost companies millions of dollars. Similarly, launching a poor quality product while being early in the market is detrimental to product success. In many cases, issues related to product quality and cost are traceable to design issues. Too many iterations between design and manufacturing or suppliers can lead to unnecessary delays, impacting product launches. Here are a few more refreshers on the importance of design in having a successful product. A simple web search on the cost of design change will lead to many such charts available on the internet. Summarily, the later in the product life cycle we detect an issue, it is exponentially more expensive to correct it. A poor quality design failing in the hands of the customer negatively impacts not only the product but also the manufacturer and its brand. Catching the issue during quality checks or manufacturing is better but not good enough. One will still have multiple design iterations leading to delayed product launches and increased rework cost. It has been found in many studies that avoidable ECOs or engineering change orders eat into engineering efficiency. Organizations have since long realized the importance of advancing design changes early in the product life cycle. Traditionally, organizations have resorted to reviews, trainings, handbooks, guidelines to achieve this goal, but these efforts have fallen short because of manual errors, lack of sufficient automation, etc. At the same time, a design engineer's job is getting tougher day by day. Product design is getting more and more complex. Electronics, software, and mechanical components are interacting like never before. A design engineer not only has to address functional aspects of a design, but also address various other downstream requirements. Design engineers need to take a holistic approach to design and consider multiple perspectives for every design decision and every feature added to the design. DFX or Design for Excellence is a holistic design strategy of identifying specific design constraints from downstream aspects of a product development lifecycle, for example, manufacturing, distribution, service, etc., and utilizing them in early product development to develop better products, processes, and systems. Though engineers need to be trained on each of these aspects and practice these in everyday design, it is not easy to refer to design checklists in spreadsheets and design guidelines in handbooks. As mentioned in the previous slide, even in this case, organizational efforts have fallen short because of manual errors, lack of sufficient automation, etc. DFMPro from HCL attempts to bridge this gap and bolsters an organization's effort in reducing rework and cost by capturing downstream best practices and making these available during the design stage, right within the CAD environment. This complements design reviews, collaboration between design, manufacturing, supply chain by bringing in knowledge capture, automation, and right links with CAD and PLM environments. A design engineer can get early feedback right in the CAD software on potential issues impacting manufacturing, assembly, and other areas. This feedback is based on the learning from the field and the shop floor and learned as guidelines and best practices. DFMPro helps bring to life the knowledge lying in design books and checklists and makes it useful at the point it matters the most. DFMPro helps organizations accelerate their progress in the digital transformation journey by helping improve digitalization in the design review process and traceability in the digital thread. Let us quickly see how DFMPro has evolved over the years. This journey began way back in 2008 with the launch of DFMPro for SolidWorks. Initially, the software supported machined and sheet metal parts. Soon, we started supporting erstwhile Pro Engineer, introducing support for injection molded plastic parts. As customers across multiple industries started adopting DFMPro with increased demand from the NX customer base, we launched DFMPro for NX. DFMPro already included customization capabilities from the very beginning, allowing customers to create their own custom rules by licensing the API toolkit. Over time, this toolkit was strengthened in the form of a DFX platform, which has strengthened over the years with support for DFX Analytics, DFX Server, etc. We have made rule customization easier for customers by introducing the Visual Rule Modeler, which allows subject matter experts to create new rules in minutes without any programming knowledge. This year, we are launching DFMPro for CATIA V5 to help our customers designing using this CAD platform to get early design feedback and reduce design iterations. As seen here, DFMPro is tightly integrated within CATIA V5. We can see the DFMPro toolbar here on the right. On clicking the first button, the DFMPro widget is launched. The second one is useful for launching the DFMPro Rule Manager, which helps you visualize all the rules which are available within DFMPro and the ones which are selected and configured as per organizational best practices. Then we have buttons for launching the help file and getting more information about the software and feedback. Right now, let us click the first button and launch DFMPro window. The Inputs tab is where we provide the inputs required for analysis, and we will see the analysis results in the DFX tab. There are other options to import or export results, generate reports, configure settings, and to dock or undock this widget. To evaluate the design being created or modified, we select the rule file configured as per the organizational best practices and the appropriate manufacturing process for the part. We can choose to run the analysis on a complete part or a smaller region. Material information can be read directly from the part file or can be selected as shown here. Once the inputs are provided, we can trigger the analysis. DFMPro will analyze the model based on the geometry and any metadata in the CAD file, even if the file has been imported and there are no design features. Once the analysis is complete, the results are presented to the user as shown here in the DFMPro pane, right next to the CATIA graphics window. Near the bottom right corner of the screen, you can see the rules with design recommendations. The results are grouped based on the rule criticality. In the widget in the top right corner, we can see the details of the rule. This gives the designer a quick overview of what the rule is checking and why it is important. Below this widget, we can see the individual instances with design recommendations for the selected rule. In this case, we have selected entry-exit surface for hole. For the selected instance in the list, we can see the hole highlighted in the graphics area. As we scroll through the list, other instances are highlighted and the recommendation for the selected instance replaces the rule description section in the widget. When clicking the standard hole sizes rule, we are seeing the same behavior. In the instance details widget, we can see the actual diameter of the hole as per the CAD model and the recommended value defined in the rule file, which has been configured as per global or organizational best practices. When we select a design recommendation, we see a pop-up toolbar with various options. It allows us to zoom into the instance or zoom to fit, capture images while reviewing the details, one can ignore this instance in case it's a functional requirement or ignore all similar instances, and also launch the help file. On launching the contextual help, a designer can get additional details about the importance of this rule and also additional suggestions with various alternatives for improving the design. Design decisions include trade-offs, and in some cases, it may be required to compromise on other non-critical parameters in order to achieve the functional requirement. In such cases, designers can choose to use the ignore feature as shown here. We have ignored instance 3 for the exit hole recommendation in this case. It is also possible to restore the instance in case the decision is reversed. In addition to ignoring instances, DFMPro also allows designers and reviewers to add relevant comments and capture associated images for any recommendation using the review details functionality. We click the capture image button to replace the current image if required. Then we add relevant comments. If it is a designer adding comments, it could be for an ignored or a dispositioned instance, providing justification. If it is a reviewer, it could be feedback for the designer. We can also add additional images and comments as required. Here we are going to add a zoomed out image to show the location of the issue in the Excel report. The captured images and comments will be retained along with the results in the results file and will also be included in the Excel reports. Such reports are very useful for collaboration and tracking action items on such recommendations to closure. As a designer or a reviewer, one can look at the recommendations simply as a list of items like we see them now in the tree view, or use the scatter plot view to see the distribution of the results. This view is very useful in case the list is long and also helps in quickly identifying patterns and outliers. This makes dispositioning very easy. Let's look at another rule, minimum wall thickness around pocket. Here we can clearly see the 8 wall thickness issues arranged graphically from the thinnest to the thicker ones. On drawing a rectangle around the instances, we can highlight them in the CAD window as well. This helps in a quick review of the most critical instances and in fast dispositioning of the non-critical ones. Here we are trying to identify the two outliers where the wall thickness is much thinner compared to others. Many a times, the analysis results need to be stored for future reference or for sharing with others. DFMPro provides a facility to export and import the results. After exporting the results from one session, one can import the results for the same part either in the same session or a different one. The results, along with added comments and images, are retained in the exported results file for future reference and reviews. Here we are importing the exported results file and the results are brought back into the CAD environment in the same exported state. Let's look at how report generation works for DFMPro. DFMPro for CATIA v5 supports Microsoft Excel and PDF reports. We have ignored some instances and captured some images which will be retained in the report as well. We can choose either to generate both the reports or select just one of them. Let's go ahead and generate both reports for DFMPro results on this CAD model. Let's look at the Excel report first. The analysis summary is seen here along with the image of the part. This section is followed by a table containing a summary of the analyzed rules, count of the failure instances, criticality of each rule, and its importance. These fields are customizable since the report is based on an Excel template. Each rule has its own sheet, which we can directly navigate to by clicking the link on the summary sheet. The rule sheet has details of all instances, ignored status, any added comments, and captured images. This is very useful in collaboration and tracking corrective actions to closure. Here we can see the report has the images that we had captured earlier, along with the relevant comments. Here is the PDF report, which is mainly a summary report of the analysis. It includes tabular information of the count of recommendations of each rule and a summary image. Here we see the result summary followed by a table of the rules which have failed, including a count of ignored instances, total number of instances, and the importance of each rule. This is followed by the list of passed rules, and then each rule has its own section which contains the definition of the rule, the summary image, and a table of the recommendations. The Excel report is useful in detailed analysis, whereas the PDF report is more suitable for a quick overview of the DFMPro analysis on the model. DFMPro rules can be configured as per the organizational best practices using the rule manager. We can launch the rule manager from the DFMPro add-in in CATIA v5. Here in the rule manager, we can see all the list of included rules in DFMPro. In 1.0, the rules covering drilling, milling, turning modules, and general rules which are applicable across all modules are visible. On double-clicking on any rule, we can launch the rule configuration window. Here we can update the default parameter values as per organizational requirements. For every rule, we can configure its recommended value, the criticality, and also look at the help of the rule. Once all the required rules are selected and configured, the complete set can be saved as a rule file, which can be selected during DFMPro analysis in CATIA. As seen here, DFMPro ships with many out-of-the-box rules supporting various processes. With each release, enhancements and additions are made to the product rules, providing additional process and checklist coverage. As an organization deploys DFMPro, subject matter experts play a key role in configuring the rules as shown earlier and defining the rule files for the organization. HCL consultants can also assist in this phase. These rule files are then set up as part of the DFMPro deployment so that design engineers can just select the appropriate rule files and do not have to reinvent the wheel. This helps in capturing downstream knowledge and bringing it upstream for use during design. This is how the design handbooks and checklists, which may not get utilized regularly, can become live and be used during the design stage. In the earlier part of this webinar, we have seen how DFMPro helps us analyze machined components as per organizational best practices. In the same manner, we can analyze such mill-turned components using DFMPro as well. We just select the manufacturing process as turn, run DFMPro, and get the results on the screen. The user experience remains same as before. We select the recommendation, look at the instance in the graphics area, look at the recommendations from DFMPro based on organizational best practices. As a designer, I have the required information to correct the design as required. In case I can't correct it, I can add comments and images. We can also select multiple instances together to capture review details, including comments and images. As a reviewer, I may use this functionality to give feedback to the designer for correcting the design. We can use the help file to know more about this rule. All the rules are covered in the help file, which helps us convey the best practices to a larger community of users. We can also generate reports in the same way as we did for the machining process. Now that we have spent some time going through a demonstration of DFMPro for CATIA V5, let us summarize what we have seen. DFMPro offers customers an ability to analyze designs for DFX issues right within the CAD environment and take corrective actions immediately. DFMPro offers a seamless CAD integrated user experience which is replicated across CAD environments. Customers can capture guidelines from handbooks and checklists as rules in the Rule Manager and use them to validate designs early in the lifecycle. One can also export and archive the results and generate reports for collaboration with reviewers, manufacturing engineers, quality teams, etc. Using DFMPro for CATIA V5, one can quickly review design issues during the design stage itself, thereby taking early corrective actions as and when required, thus helping reduce long lead iterations. One can capture downstream DFX best practices and make them available at the design stage, thus enabling a quality feedback loop. One can collaborate between various departments on DFX issues using CATIA integrated results or standalone reports with comments and images. This also helps new engineers learn on the job and design right the first time through upfront design recommendations and integrated help. Thus, DFMPro for CATIA V5 helps reduce design iterations, improve productivity, improve product quality, and reduce product cost, which were the initial objectives we talked about at the beginning of this webinar. Finally, let's look at what's next in the CATIA journey that we have embarked on. We have launched version 1.0 of DFMPro for CATIA V5 with a focus on machine components. We are following that up with assembly best practices. Later, we will support cast components, molded plastic parts, and sheet metal manufacturing processes as well. Based on initial customer feedback, we will also accelerate support for rule customization, server-based analysis, and DFX analytics. We are eagerly awaiting feedback from current and prospective customers to help us align the roadmap as per your business needs. To have your say, do contact us. Write to dfmpro.marketing@hcl.com for further details.
Thank you, Rahul and Yogesh. We are now open for questions. Do type your questions in the questions box. Let's take the first question. I already use a checker inside CATIA V5. What is different in DFMPro?
Design checking software typically available in CAD, including those available for CATIA, normally focus on design quality checks, which are related to modeling best practices. The kind of checks which are included in DFMPro focus on downstream issues which are traceable to design. These include design issues which may impact manufacturing quality, cause assembly problems, or even quality issues which lower the operational life of a part. Many of the issues can be avoided right at the design stage by following best practices.
Thank you, Rahul. Next question is, which versions of CATIA V5 are supported by DFMPro?
With the currently released version 1.0, DFMPro supports CATIA V5 R30, which is V5 6 R2020, and CATIA V5 R26, which is V5 6 R2016. Based on customer requests, we can plan support for other versions as well.
Next question is, my organization uses multiple CAD for development in different teams. Can DFMPro support such multi-CAD environment?
Yes, DFMPro is already integrated with SolidWorks, Creo Parametric, and NX. We have customers working with such multi-CAD environments. DFMPro for CATIA V5 adds one more ability to support multi-CAD environments. Since DFMPro is a CAD add-on, integrations with CAD involve separate installations, but the process for installation and the add-in user experience remains similar across CAD platforms.
Thank you. Next question is, do you plan to support 3D experience?
Yes, definitely we have an interest in supporting 3D experience, but as of now, there are no committed timelines. Based on customer demand, we worked very closely with Dassault Systems to bring DFMPro to customers on CATIA V5. We will follow the same process for 3D experience as well. In case you are interested, please do write to us and convey your interest. Do write to dfmpro.marketing@hcl.com.
Thank you, Rahul. Next question is, can I have different rule configurations for different manufacturing sites or suppliers?
Yes, the DFMPro rule framework allows customers to define different rule files for such cases. Once the rule files are configured and set up, appropriate rule files can be selected during analysis based on those specific sites or suppliers.
Okay. Next question is, does it check for GD&T? Is it compatible with products designed in other CAD platform? Will DFMPro work with neutral file components such as IGES or STEP?
Yes, DFMPro has rules for checking GD&T and PMI included in the CAD model, but in the context of manufacturing rules. DFMPro does not check for GD&T semantics. CAD software typically already have tools and other add-ons are available for this purpose. DFMPro is also compatible with CAD models designed in other CAD platforms. Normally what happens is that design feature information is lost in translation when importing such CAD models from other CAD software. However, DFMPro can extract the manufacturing features by interpreting the geometry of the CAD model. In addition, metadata like material, GD&T, colors, which may be imported through the translation process, can be read by DFMPro and can be used for analysis as required. DFMPro works with solid models, either designed in CATIA or they may be imported. And for certain kind of checks, it also considers the surfaces in the model.
Thank you, Rahul. Next question is, which CATIA V5 license is a prerequisite?
Normally, for running DFMPro, an MD2 license will suffice. However, if you are working on advanced design processes, using tolerances, importing other CAD files, you may need additional CATIA licenses to ensure that you have the ability to create the right designs, and then you can analyze those models using DFMPro.
Next question is, what is the level of validation of DFMPro software? How sure can I be that all issues I need examined have been examined?
DFMPro as such cannot guarantee that all issues with the design are identified, since it checks the model only for the selected rules. However, this highly complements and helps automate the review process, and it also helps improve collaboration between design and downstream teams. DFMPro primarily works with the set of rules which are defined and configured by the organization. It then analyzes the model based on those defined rules and parameters. By helping early review and correction of the potential design errors, it reduces the time required for manual design reviews and also helps reduce the number of design iterations. However, subject matter experts, manufacturing engineers, quality engineers who are the experts on their domains uh, can now focus on the critical aspects of design improvement, and they can leave DFMPro to automate the repetitive aspects. DFMPro does not eliminate design reviews, it augments the design reviews.
Okay, thank you, Rahul. So we are almost on time. So let's take the last question for the day. We will answer the remaining questions over email. Is any DFMPro data written into CATIA file?
No, DFMPro does not write any data to the CATIA file. You may export DFMPro results and store them on the hard disk, which can then be imported back into CATIA using the DFMPro add-on, as we saw earlier during the demo. Additionally, you can also generate Excel and PDF reports for reviews. That's all, folks. Thank you once again for taking your time to attend this webinar. We could provide only a brief overview of DFMPro for CATIA V5 in this launch session. This webinar was presented to you by Yogesh and Rahul and supported by Priyanjan. I'm sure you will have many questions and would like to do a longer session with you and your team. Do contact us for a comprehensive demonstration and to get all your questions answered. Our sales and pre-sales teams are standing by globally to respond to your requests. Thanks again. Have a great day or evening.